This is Smokin' Dave, and you're listening to a man who couldn't close the deal with Sister Jean the other night. It's the Kevin Friedman Show.
Hey now, welcome back to another episode of the SportsGossip.com podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Friedman, and as always, I've got 10 of the hottest stories off the SportsGossip.com website, and my announcer, Smokin' Dave, is here with me as usual. Dave, give us that first story.
White Sox rehire groundskeeper who was wrongfully imprisoned for 23 years.
So former Chicago White Sox groundskeeper Nevis Coleman was imprisoned for 23 years for a crime he did not commit. In 1994, the 25-year-old who had 2 children and worked as a groundskeeper at Comiskey Park was falsely convicted of the rape and murder of a young woman and sent to prison. Last November, after he had spent 23 years behind bars, he was released based on DNA evidence that revealed he had not committed the crime. So Coleman, now 49 years old, got his job back, and congrats to him, but come on. The guy was falsely convicted and spent 23 years in jail, and the best you could do is give him his old job back? Now, I tried to do some research and find out if this guy was compensated for his 23 years behind bars, which I'm sure he will be, but either they have not published it or they haven't decided what to give him yet, because I can't find it. And if it's anything under $20 million, then he's getting screwed again. I mean, there should be some kind of law that if you're wrongly convicted of a crime and sent to jail, you should get $1 million for every year you spend in jail. Now, I gotta give it to him. Nevis Coleman is a better man than I am. He's happy being back on the job and does not seem bitter at all. The White Sox even made him interview for this position. They didn't just give it to him. They made him do an interview. If I was falsely imprisoned for 23 years for a crime I did not commit and they let me out, I sure as hell wouldn't be happy getting my old job back. I would never want to work again. I'd hire the best lawyer I could possibly find, sue the crap out of the state for falsely imprisoning me, and live off the money. This guy's got to be getting multi-millions of dollars on this deal, if he hasn't already. So to go back and work as a groundskeeper at Comiskey Park, I just don't get it. I mean, to each his own. He seems like a great guy, and I'm happy he likes his job, and I'm happy he got his job back. But, come on. The guy lost 23 years of his life. He deserves to be compensated a little better than being a grounds crew guy for the Chicago White Sox. Hey Dave, you ever been falsely accused of a crime?
I was imprisoned for 19 years for stealing a loaf of bread to feed my family. Can you believe that?
Actually, I can't believe that because that sounds very much like the plot of Les Mis.
Are you calling me a liar?
Yes, I am. Now, why don't you give us the next story?
Tony Romo nominated for an Emmy.
Yes, the former Cowboys quarterback received a Sports Emmy nomination from the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences in the category of Outstanding Sports Personality Sports Event Analyst for his work on CBS and the NFL Network. Fellow nominees are Gary Danielson of CBS, John Gruden of ESPN, Kirk Herbstreit of ESPN, and John Smoltz of Fox Sports. Romo's debut season as an announcer generally drew positive reviews from critics and fans alike, and I have to agree. I thought he was very good on the air. Now, no offense to Romo, but to me this just proves that being a sports analyst is one of the easiest jobs around. I mean, if a guy with no experience can come out, start doing it, and get nominated for an Emmy in his first year, how hard can it be? I mean, name me another profession where a guy can come in with zero experience and win the top award you can receive in your first year. Now again, don't get me wrong, I thought Romo was excellent and I really enjoyed listening to him last season, but could anybody with any sports knowledge probably come in and do a very similar job? Yes. Let's be honest, giving analysis of a sports event is not rocket science. Dave, what's next?
An NFL team just added league's first male cheerleaders.
Yes, the LA Rams will be adding 2 dudes to their cheerleading squad for the 2018 season. Now, I'm going to speak for all guys on this one, and while it may be politically incorrect, I don't care. Nobody wants male cheerleaders. And if you are a cheerleader, I hate to break it to you, the guys aren't watching you for your dance moves. They're looking at your boobs, your legs, and your ass. And women don't do that, for the most part at least. You don't see women going, hey, check out that guy's sack. Check out that bulge. It just doesn't happen, let's be honest. I mean, good luck to these 2 dudes, and I got nothing against them, but I just don't have any interest in watching any male cheerleaders. I mean, I would love to see a couple of male cheerleaders in Philly. The fans would be relentless.
I don't think this sponsors are going to be too happy with your take on male cheerleaders.
Dave, have you listened to any of our commercials? We've been sponsored by a Russian guy who was telling people he didn't have rat droppings in his soup, an adult bookstore, a guy who's selling prostitutes off an app, and a Chinese guy who is selling tennis shoes and board games. I think we'll be fine. What's the next story?
Anthony Davis considering shaving the brow.
The Pelican superstar is considering shaving his trademark eyebrow. He put up a poll for his Twitter followers asking if he should keep it or shave it. As of right now, he's had over 560,000 votes, and it currently sits at 51 to 49 in favor of shaving it. Now, if I was voting, I'd say keep it. I mean, if you're going to shave it, you should have shaved it, before you went to college. I mean, you're pretty much known for it now, so just go with it. And trust me, no lady's going to turn you down because you have a unibrow. You're Anthony Davis. Would I fault him if he did shave it? No, it is a really weird look. But you already gone with it for years, so might as well just keep it. Dave, what's your vote on this? Keep it or shave it?
I started shaving my butt in 1963, and I regretted it big time. If I don't shave it every week, it grows like crazy down there. So I say keep it.
I don't know why I'm going to follow up with this, but you shave your butt every week?
I used to shave my butt every week. Now I go to my barber Jose and he does it for me.
Whatever you're paying Jose is not enough. What's the next story?
Marlins man Lawrence Levy cutting ties with Miami Marlins.
Now, if you've watched any playoff baseball in the past few years, then you know who this guy is. He's the moron who sits behind home plate wearing the orange Marlins jersey and the orange hat. He shows up at every big playoff game, not because he loves baseball or wants to watch one of the teams win. It's because he wants to be seen on TV. He's probably some guy nobody paid attention to as a kid, so now he's going to pay a ton of money and force you to pay attention to him. Now, he's obviously a successful lawyer because he makes a ton of money if he's able to purchase all these tickets, but still, he's a fool. Now, he's had Marlins season tickets ever since they were in existence. He's got 4 right behind home plate, and he shows up with 3 hot chicks every game. And I guarantee these 3 hot chicks, as soon as the game is over, try to get away from this guy ASAP. Anyways, Levy wrote the Marlins a check for $200,000, trying to pay up front for 3 years of season tickets, and the Marlins rejected him. And of course, the attention-seeking nerd that he is, Levy went right to ESPN to complain about it. While $200,000 does sound like a lot of money, Levy was lowballing the Marlins and offering less money than he paid the previous seasons. And that's why he was rejected. Not that I watch a lot of Marlins games, but I hope they stick to their guns because I hate looking at this guy. Alright, that's 5 stories down, 5 to go. We gotta take a break. We'll be back after this.
Yes, hello. I still have 1 board game. I still have 2 pair tennis shoes. Velcro only. I sell to you. You contact me. BigDong@yahoo.com. Thank you.
And we're back. Dave, I noticed Big Dong is no longer selling DVDs. Does that mean you went and bought them all?
Oh yeah, I went over there 2 nights ago and met up with the Donger, and let's just say, after the deal he gave me, I love him long time.
Yeah. Oh, God. You know what? Big Dong's one of our sponsors. I'm not going to say anything. Give us the next story.
LeVar Ball calls out Michael Jordan again.
I've said this before, I'll say it again. I think LeVar Ball is entertaining. I think he's done a fantastic job raising his kids. One of his kids was the number 2 pick in the NBA draft. His youngest kid will probably be in the NBA as well. And he's done a fantastic job promoting himself and his family. And when it comes to his comments about Michael Jordan, he sounds like an insane person. I mean, first off, about a year ago, he said he could beat Michael Jordan one-on-one in his prime, which is, you don't make a comment like that unless you're a total idiot. It's like saying I could outsmoke Dave.
No chance in hell.
Exactly. Dave, how many cigarettes have you smoked in this show alone?
I'm lighting up number 11 right now.
Less than 10 minutes in, my point exactly. And now LeVar Ball is criticizing Jordan as a businessman, saying that he wouldn't co-brand with anybody, and Jordan has no control because it's all Nike. Now, I looked up some quick numbers. MJ, from the year 2002 to 2012, made $480 million. Nike, in 2015, had $3 billion of sales of the Jordan brand sneakers, 8% of their revenue, and Jordan that year earned $110 million. Now, you could say $110 million out of $3 billion is not that high of a percentage, but LeVar Ball would be lucky to get $3 million worth of sales. I mean, I tried to look up the big baller sales, and there's just no numbers. I did find an article saying they got an F rating from the BBB, the important BBB, the Better Business Bureau. I also found out that they're kind of co-partners with Skechers, so he's a hypocrite to top it all off. I said it before, I'll say it again. LeVar, when it comes to coaching your kids and getting them exposure, you're doing a fantastic job. When it comes to making comments about Michael Jordan, I would just keep my mouth shut. Dave, what's next?
Meet Russia's FIFA World Cup 2018 ambassador.
I've been told we are the #1 podcast in all of Russia, so this one's for all you Russians. Victoria Lopireva, I hope I got that name right. That's a terrible last name. She should change her last name. Victoria Friedman sounds good to me. Anyway, she's a Russian television presenter, and she's been chosen as the FIFA World Cup 2018 ambassador. She's an actress, a model, a blogger, and a beauty pageant winner. She was also Miss Russia 2003. She is gorgeous. You can check her out at sportsgossip.com. And I've just been informed we have a phone caller on the line, a special guest, everybody's favorite Russian, Ivan Babushka. Ivan, you there?
Yes, hello, Kevin. I have called in to say I know Victoria, and she is a very excellent woman. She has eaten at Ivan Babushka's Dining Emporium before. She is fantastic. She is excellent choice to be Russia ambassador.
Hey, Babushka, did she eat there before or after the news about rat droppings in your soup?
You son of a bitch, just when everybody is starting to forget about the rat droppings in soup at Ivan's Dining Emporium, you bring it back up.
I agree with you, Ivan. Dave, you're out of line. Ivan, thanks for calling in. Dave, give us the next story.
Jim Kelly recovering following 12 hours of surgery.
The Buffalo Bills legend is resting after 12 hours of surgery to remove cancer from his head and neck and to reconstruct his jaw. You can go to sportsgossip.com and check out pictures of Jim in his bed recovering. They used the number 12 computer during his surgery, and his number, of course, in his playing days at Buffalo, 12. I was at one of Buffalo's 4 Super Bowl losses, the one in 1992 in Minnesota when they got blown out by Washington.
Nobody gives a shit.
Screw you, Dave. Anyways, congrats to Jim Kelly, his whole family, and let's hope he remains healthy. Dave, give us that next story, you jerk.
Danny Amendola dumped Olivia Culpo after she cheated on him with another girl?
SportsGossip.com was the first to break the news of the split between the SI swimsuit model and Amendola, which she confirmed on Wednesday. Now we got another tipster giving us this story that Amendola broke up with her because she cheated on him with another chick. Now if this is true, I think Amendola's nuts. You don't break up with a girl when she cheats with another woman, you try and get a threesome. Especially when she's an SI swimsuit model. You can have a threesome with 2 SI swimsuit models. Dave, you're a big fan of threesomes. Am I right or am I right?
Who gives a shit? If it's not a threesome with Sister Jean, then I'm not interested.
Of course not. Give us that final story.
The Cowboys will cut Dez Bryant after the draft.
This is according to Jordan Schultz of the Schultz Report. He claims Dallas will cut the 29-year-old receiver after the draft. And in a league where it's not easy to find a quality receiver, I think this is a bad move, even though he makes $12.5 million a year. In football money, that's not that much. If I'm Ryan Pace and the Bears, I'm going and trying to make a deal with Dez right after they gets cut. You'll get a 29-year-old who's pissed off and hungry, and you'll probably get him for cheaper than what he's worth. Now, I doubt the Bears will actually do this because they're run by morons, but some team will do it, and they will probably make a great deal and get a solid wide receiver for a discount price. We still have to wait and see if it even happens first, but according to reports, Dez Bryant will be cut after the draft. Alright, that's our 10 stories. I want to thank you for listening. I want to thank you, Smokin' Dave. I want to thank Ivan Babushka for calling in. And remember, as always, for these stories and much more, you can go to sportsgossip.com. This has been episode number 9, and we will see you next time.